Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a while and I'm gonna go back to kind of just like the talk to you video because it's easier for me to edit and I need that in my life so I can handle it. So it's been a few days since the end of Theory 1. So I just finished my first semester in court boarding school. Hooray! And so now I have a 3-week break until classes officially start again at the end of May. Of course, I'll be doing some other stuff in the meantime, but for these first few couple days, I've really just been resting and feeling like I don't have to do anything, which feels great. And so I just wanted to give you a little overview on how Theory 1 was at Tracy and give you a little perspective on what it would be like if you did take this class. So overall, I think it was the perfect pace for a real new student. So like if you had never studied stenography before, or maybe if you had just done A to Z and learned the letters, it would go at a great pace for you to learn each concept one by one and stack them on. As you may have figured out by now if you've been watching my videos, my school required 15 hours of practice each week. So on RTC, so that's listening to audio. So for each week there's a set amount of concepts introduced and you had to put in 15 hours on audio on those concepts. And I think the driving philosophy behind that is that you need those hours in order to get it into you, to get it into your muscle memory. And if you do complete that, you're on your way. For me though, I found it to be a little bit slow in the beginning, and that's because I self-studied before I came into Tracy. So I had been self-studying theory for about 4 months. So I already understood some of the basic concepts, had already drilled a bunch of different sounds, and already practiced learning how to break down words as sounds in my mind. Also, if you find it easy to pick up steno, 15 hours might feel like a drag as well. But for the average person, I do think you would need that amount of time to put it all into your brain. And besides that, personally, I am able to focus on steno full time and put in those 15 hours. But for most people, finding 15 hours in their week is difficult. So I'd say the main factor of success in this class is, are you able to put in 15 hours a week? Coming in with that pre-studying, I did have to overwrite some of those things that I had already learned, but it wasn't too bad in the end, and overall, it really helped me because on the first time I learned theory, I was too timid to change the dictionary because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how the rules worked. Within what constraints am I allowed to change something and not allowed to change something? I didn't really get it until I finished learning a theory the first time. So coming into this class with an understanding of how theory generally works allowed me to interpret and make changes to my dictionary as I went through this class without being afraid that I was going to break something. The other big advantage I had was I also was able to go faster. I was able to practice at higher speeds. Now the audios in this class only went up to 100 words per minute, which you could use RTC to do it 20% faster, which in theory, mathematically, is 120. So for the majority of the semester, I was practicing at about 120 words per minute. And for some things, it was still too easy and I wish I was able to push that limit further. And for a couple of things, it was about the limit of how fast I could go. As for the actual class itself, grading, absolutely fantastic. Basically, the grade is just, do you complete all the assigned practice? They measure you on 2 main metrics each week, which is strokes completed and hours completed on RTC and audio. So again, like I said, 15 hours every week. And then strokes, in strokes, it started at around 20,000 per week, and then at the end of the class, it got up to like 27,000 a week. Within filling the 15 hours, depending on how fast you're going and what practice you're doing, the strokes will come naturally. Personally, because I was practicing at such high speeds all the time, I usually made it like past 50,000, sometimes past 60,000, sometimes past 70,000 a week. So at this stage, like the strokes are not a worry for me because I'm practicing a lot faster than they expect. And so other than just completing the practice each week, the other thing is just online discussion boards, easy post to post, replies to replies. And there are also a couple really short worksheets, no problem. As for expectations, all you have to do to pass the course is to pass a 40 words per minute test. And so given that when the class starts, you're started at 30 words per minute, all you have to do is make it up one single level to 40. And although your highest potential is a B, that's a pass in the class. If you want the potential for an A, all you have to do is pass the 60 words per minute, which is 2 steps up from 40. And I've been in a group chat with my friends, and I'm pretty sure everyone made it past 60. Like, as long as you're trying, I feel like you can't not make it past 60 in this course. Personally, I spend every day in fear of the 225, like how am I gonna get there? So I'm always trying to go faster if I can, because you know, right now I might be having a hard time typing I went to the store at 100 words per minute, but one day when I'm at 225, 100 is gonna be like nothing. So I have to at least do nothing. So that's kind of my mentality and why I was practicing as fast as I possibly could for this class. Also, we took an edit and a real-time speed test each week, and we were only allowed to take one each week at our school. I've heard opinions that you should be allowed to test more often, but overall I think it's okay. I passed all the available opportunities for edit, and real time was only available up to 60, and there was one that was available at 70 that I kind of flubbed. So right now I'm up to the available test for real time, and I'm up to 90 for edit. Here's my chart. So I made it to 60 on real time and 90 on edit within this class. Okay, a little bit off track, but that was grading. Grading is great. And the teacher. Teacher is also great. So my teacher was Professor Colleen Barnes, and I believe she teaches Theory 1 every single time, I think, at Tri-C. And she's honestly a great teacher. She broke down everything for us. She was very kind and answered every question. She made sure that we understood we could ask her anything. There was no stupid questions. And she answered every question kindly and with understanding and with a lot of expertise. Like, I could tell she really knows her stuff. And I think that's saying a lot, because court reporting education changes rapidly, and for her to have been teaching for like over 20 years, and the way technology has changed in the last 20 years, the way she has to teach has to have changed as well. And the way that she keeps up with that, I'm really impressed and really thankful. She's also very tough on us about, you know, our practice requirements, but she's also very kind and understanding to our experience. She's like, oh yeah, I know you guys must be experiencing burnout, or I know this finger shape you have to do feels terrible, but keep going, you can get it. And I think it just really shows that she's been teaching for this long and seeing students with similar complaints and similar struggles and experiences, and she knows what to expect by now and how to be compassionate about it. So what's my outlook now that I finished Theory 1? Well, first of all, at Tri-C, Theory is 4 classes, Theory 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to know why. Like, why does it take 3 full semesters to finish theory? It better be good, right? Like, I better learn some really fancy, nice theory that I could use. But I'm going to trust the process and keep trying to do my own self-study on the side. My only other complaint about this whole thing was that I felt really tired out by the requirements of the course, and I didn't have a lot of energy or time left to work on steno study that I wanted to do for myself on the side. I think being able to research into steno, develop your own methods, try different words and look them up in the dictionary and question and add things, and be able to just like research. Like, I guess research is not the right word. I'm thinking of like Yongu in Korean. But if you're able to just explore steno on your own time, I think that would deepen your understanding of it and be able to help you advance. And I'm just personally very curious about steno, and I love like looking into it and digging through it. But the requirements for school kind of left me with no energy to do that. So I do want to find a way going forward to be able to balance it all out and be able to do the extra learning that I want to do on the side along with the schoolwork. Alright, that's enough for this video, so I'm done here. But I have a lot of things I want to do on break, so I'm really excited. And I'm going to use up this time very well before I get back to Theory 2 and my other summer classes at the end of May. I'll see you next time.